standing over the ball. They are ready to go, waiting on the signal from our match referee this evening in Kevin Broadley. He gives it. We're good to go once again. Thanks for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer here on My Indy TV and ESPN Plus. And Evan Newton can take his dear old sweet time to track down the opening ball of the match. Fourth time these two teams have played each other. Bethlehem was one of the 4 teams that Indy played 3 times during the regular season last year. They lost the opening get-together in May 2-1. They won the return fixture in Bethlehem in July 1-0 on a goal by Jack McInerney, and played to a 1-1 draw against a very young Bethlehem team in the home finale last October. And that's kind of been the direction the Steel have gone this year. They've kind of gotten a little bit younger with their lineup. As an example, Brad, their average age against North Carolina last Saturday, 19.6 years of age.
Absolutely incredible. And you referenced the fact that they've had 34 different players play for them this season. That makes it so difficult as a coach to put a game plan together and try and figure out where they can come at you, because it's a constant revolving door of players.
Offense has not been a problem for Bethlehem. Defense has been the issue. Hackshaw plays that across. Was there a deflection there? The answer is no. Goal kick coming for Matt Freeze. He is one of 4 different netminders that have seen time for the Steel this season. Played his collegiate soccer at Harvard. This is his 6th match of the year. So, for example, 4 different goalkeepers. None of them have played more than 9 times for the Steel this season.
Makes it difficult because, you know, when you get into the run of the game and you get into the flow of the game and you got 4 different guys, you got 4 different, in your head, 4 different levels of goalkeepers with their feet, 4 different levels of where they like the ball, how they distribute. So you have to stay clicked in because it's going to be different with the different goalkeeper.
7 different occasions this year, including the last time out. The Steel have scored at least 3. They played to a 3-3 draw with North Carolina last Saturday. Only problem is that on 11 different occasions, the Steel have given up at least 3, including in their loss against Indy on April the 20th at Talon Energy Stadium.
That's a clever ball.
Mache Galena. We saw him a season ago for the Bethlehem Steel, native of the Republic of Congo. Signed to an MLS deal back in May, but on loan to the USL club. And he earns a corner in minute number 3. Here you see Evan Newton, the all-time leader in clean sheets in the history of the USL Championship, having picked up another one on Wednesday against Ottawa. In fact, Evan or his teammate in Jordan Farr have allowed a combined total of 4 goals in 14 home matches this season.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And what, 1 in the run of play, right?
Correct. Set piece opportunity here. Good bending ball, but that time Newton had it lined up. Shot was taken by Shintu, who had his first goal with Bethlehem in that 3-goal effort against North Carolina last Saturday. So to that point, this is the 3rd match in 7 days for Indy. It's the 3rd match since the Steel last played. Deflection taken away. Connor trying to find Pasher, and the sliding tackle by Nathan Harriel.
Tough. He had Novoa out on his right if he would have seen it.
Have a player injured for Bethlehem. That is Shivani Willis, native of Jamaica, that is down on the turf. Time now for our keys to the match. They are presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11.
Yeah, for Indy, complicate the reads. You referenced it on Saturday or on Wednesday. They played with an average age of 19.6. The more complicated you make the reads, the tougher it is for their decision making. Also, get Ayoze touches. He can do anything at any time. Give him the ball so we can see the magic. For Bethlehem, manage the lines and press. This is a team that can get pulled apart with the complexity of how Indy plays. They have to manage when they're going to press and where their lines are. And then right here, Pasher, Pasher, Pasher. If you don't have a plan for Tyler Pasher, you're going to lose the game.
Pasher, 10 goals this season. Has not hit any in the last couple of matches for the Indy 11, which means by his current pace, he's due.
Well, that's a really interesting thought, because you take a look, maybe he hasn't scored, but he draws so much attention that he opens up play for other players.
Referee did a great job of shielding the defender on that ball to keep it in play for Indy. Ioze sends it back towards the top of the 18. Navoa in the mix, but is whistled for a foul.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on that from Ioze. I just expect that kind of play.
Now you see Brendan Burke. He is the only head coach in the 4-year history of the Bethlehem Steel. Again, this club, this is the USL club of the Philadelphia Union. The team named Bethlehem the last 3 years played in Bethlehem, but this season all matches have been either at the home of the Union in Chester, PA. Played a couple of matches at Drexel during the course of the season as well. These guys train with the Union on a daily basis. And the one thing that we were able to witness here last October, and we talked about their youth movement, the developmental program the Union have is outstanding. They have some high quality young players, and this is part of the growing process to get to Major League Soccer, is to succeed at this level.
What's interesting is the different philosophies that the
Pasher can't knock it by him. Freeze got in the way. Pasher did score against the Steel back in April.
What's interesting to see is how all of these clubs handle the player development differently. You look at New York versus Bethlehem, and it's different ways that they're developing players, but it's successful for both of them.
Hatshaw didn't get a piece of it, but did enough to deflect that off of the foot of Issa Rayan. Martin Running, second-year head coach of the Indy 11. Indy with 6 road wins. That's a franchise record. 16 regular season wins, also a franchise record. And with 3 points tonight, would set a club record for points in a season, as the 2016 NASL club finished with 55 points in their best season in club history. Filling in the space is Illich racing forward. Finds Pasher. Pasher didn't have an angle to shoot, so he plays it off to Ioze. Ioze slides with the right foot. Connor couldn't latch onto it. And now Galena will hold up play for the Bethlehem Steel. Rayan, who played his college soccer at Duke, but is still a young player. Issa Rayan just turned 19 last month.
And you can hear, Coach, I think there's a microphone by Bethlehem's bench. You can hear Coach Burke and how he's talking about how to, he's guiding them in the press and guiding them to step and guiding them when to double.
Couldn't tell that was Coach Burke or whether it was Freeze in goal, but one of the two. We were listening into that conversation. By the way, this match brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine. Dream big, work hard, and finish strong. Indy 2-1-1 against the Steel. Both wins have been on the road. One of the goals of the year for the Indy 11 happened against this Steel club as the flag goes up on Galena. In the home finale last year on October the 6th, the 60-yard dime from Ioze that Eugene Starikoff one-timed over Tomas Romero. And a 1-1 draw. A little miscommunication there, which leads to an opportunity. Barrett quickly will simply play that ball to the side.
And you give a little bit of credit to Carl Ouimet on that ball. As it was touched by him, he did a great job of bumping him just enough to knock him off pace. It's those little things that make a difference. Turner was through off the touch if he didn't get nudged.
Christian Navoa earning his second straight start. His speed on display, and he was a millisecond away from getting to that one. He was called for an early offside against Ottawa on Wednesday night. And talking with Martin Rennie yesterday, he thought that after studying the tape, that Mr. Navoa was in fact onside. That should have been the first Indy 11 goal. You see Ioze. Now 7 goals and 11 assists in 2 seasons with the Indy 11. Tonight is Ioze's 54th appearance over 2 years with the club. Opportunity here.
Tough.
Settled ball doesn't get through.
Good step.
Barrett with the shot block. And now Macaulay King springs Navoa forward. Now back to Macaulay King. We'll switch up sides. The attack to Ioze.
Such a great ball, and he's done a fantastic job in these last 3 games of knocking the ball around the park.
Ball's going right back to him. One more time. Again, that took a deflection off of Bethlehem boots. It was Cortez that got to it. Now Hackshaw. He too scored against Bethlehem back in April. Hackshaw, Dane Kelly, Tyler Pasher, the goal scorers on that day. The flick forward. Pasher goes down. It won't be a penalty. It's outside of the 18.
Heads up.
But a dangerous restart coming for the Indy 11.
Heads up. You sometimes just got to pick your poison. Is it more dangerous to let the 11 have a restart at the top of the box, or to let Pasher run at the ball inside the 18?
Fan Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship in many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Ioze lifts it up. No traffic in front of the net. King on the turf asking for a foul. Won't get it. The restart, a quick one.
Oh, that's a clever move.
Good footwork by Galena. Now Cortez flying down the flank. Pasher matches him step for step, and Pasher takes it away.
Love it. Love the effort that the club continues to give player for player in tracking back.
That's a guy we don't normally see on that end of the field in Pasher. Well hit ball, but again, kind of the second or third ball we've seen directly sent towards Evan Newton. That went off the foot of Issa Rayan. Ioze couldn't slide it by the last defender. Steele taking some time to get organized here. Cliff Bar Baking Company, Indianapolis, proud to team up with the Indy 11. Provide meals to IPS students through their Meals for Miles program. That goes into the amount of miles that guys like Tyler Gibson and Patty Barrett run on a regular basis. Believe me, it's a lot.
I do believe you. I always believe you're egg strong.
Good job by Barrett to knock that ball some 40 yards down the pitch.
I hate that.
In other words, the ball to the side is giving up on it, correct?
Yes. Knock it up the field.
This is a teaching moment, Coach. The floor is yours. Have
Okay, let me head down there. Come here, kid.
I meant for the broadcast,
Oh,
not him.
right,
Yes.
right. You're a professional player. You should have the technical ability to keep that ball in bounds. You're not pressed at that level.
For those outside of Indianapolis, my broadcast partner, the head men's soccer coach at DePaul University. They're one of 2 teams that get victories over Manchester today. Norwich City beat Manchester City 3-2.
I was not at that game.
You beat Manchester University 5-1. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Offside flag went up for Galena. This portion of this match presented by Keystone Construction. It's more than construction. Keystone, we build a vision.
You talk about the brilliance of Ioze, the pace and creativity of Pasher, and the consistency that they've had all season in that. There's this silent consistency with Tyler Gibson. You get the exact same level of play, level of excellence, every single match he plays.
Native of Knoxville, Tennessee. Missed a good chunk of last year with an injury. Pasher couldn't slide it through to Illich. Gibson and Wimet were teammates 2 years ago in San Francisco when they won the last NASL championship. Now Barrett, that ball had eyes. Illich gives it a go. Karam doesn't go his way. Throw in coming here for Wilmette in front of the Bethlehem steel bench. In the Steel, a playoff team each of the last 2 seasons. They're out of the playoff mix now. But a good result tonight could change some things. Flick forward. Good read by Bethlehem. Connor will settle for Indy. Player who made that read was Ben Ofemu.
Illich. Fine.
Navoa, left foot, doesn't get through. Cortez got in the way. Navoa, the back heel. Illich!
This is ridiculous. This is. It's like you're playing FIFA. The touches, the creativity, it's magical.
And Navoa has been here for about, what, 4 weeks? 5 weeks? He and Connor, the 2 of the 4 guys added in early August. Take a look.
Goodness, look at this. I mean, just this ball right here to find him. Look at that touch. This is, no, that's sick. Stop it.
Illich thought that ball took a deflection off a Bethlehem player. Official did not agree with it. Navoa yet to get an Indy 11 goal. Illich, his lone goal, a game winner. One of those 6 aforementioned road wins against North Carolina back on August the 3rd. Hackshaw going to be called for the foul. Bit aggressive in going after that ball. And those road wins, Indy will have a chance to add to those, because after tonight's game, they are not back here until October the 5th. The next 4 they will play will be away from Lucas Oil. At Birmingham next Friday, at Atlanta United the following Wednesday. Then at Pittsburgh on September the 28th. And then a return date with the Ottawa Fury on Wednesday, October the 2nd.
And that makes these 3 points, tough. That makes these 3 points so critical to pick up.
And 16 wins this year for Indy, 10 in this building, 6 on the road. Great ball by Connor, and Drew draws the foul. And a nice exchange between he and Galena. Connor, the native of the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Spent time with the Chicago Fire for several years after playing collegiately at Wisconsin. But had spent the early portion of this year in the Czech Republic. King, good looking ball, but he was over the touchline. As immediately spotted by one of our assistant referees tonight. Dimensions here, 120 yards the length of the pitch, 74 yards wide. The chip shot by Ioze to lift it to Hackshaw. Pasher back post. Got a touch on it, but not a controlling one. He kind of landed at an awkward angle. Looks like he's all right. Fans, you can show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive Indiana Members Credit Union Indy 11 debit card at any Indiana Members Credit Union branch, or log on to imcu.com today. Pasher lines up to get back on side, but Ioze put that ball behind him. A rare time where those two were not connected, because they have been, not in terms of space, but mentally, they've been joined at the hip all season long. Tyler Pasher, one of 3 players in Indy 11 history to have double-digit goals in a season. That question's going to be brought up in a new feature coming up at halftime.
It is. We got a new feature.
Professional broadcast tease there. Stay tuned.
Oh my goodness.
And a soccer ball for Mr. King, please. As Pasher awaits, it's because there's not a ball close for King to track down. Now he's got one.
That's a young mistake right there. You just let that ball run, or somebody communicates to him and let him know he's got no pressure, and that's a goal kick.
Opportunity here for Bethlehem. Rayan throws it ahead for Galena, but Newton at the top of the 18 able to snag it. and prevent any further advance.
They've been fairly effective, Bethlehem has, in the counter up until they get to the attacking third, and at that point it breaks down. The ball is either mishit or the run is off, but they've shown they can be dangerous because you've got all the buildup in place. It's just that final bit that needs work.
The flick by Pasher. King will collect. Keeper reads it and frees. This Sportsnitch match presented by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Take your business to the next level in a state that works. These two teams played back in April. Indy put 2 goals together in a 2-minute span. Minutes 27 and 29. Well done by Bethlehem. That deflected off of Pasher.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of forcing him into his right foot and putting cover in behind so he can't turn the corner.
King foul. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home for all things USL. At least 19 matches will be featured on the ESPN networks, including 9 on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Off goes Pasher. Trying to get to that left foot.
What a cut. Think how frustrating that's got to be defensively. You defend Pasher well enough to force him to give the ball up.
Illich saved, left foot deflected. What a save for a second time in 4 games. Illich had a header that probably should have found the back of the net.
Okay, let's look at this.
Great save by Freeze.
Unreal. Yeah.
And then just got it. I thought it was deflected on the second. It did not. He just roofed it. Probably should have been 1-0 in favor of Indy after that combination of play.
I think the frustration you have as a back four, you do a great job of defending Pasher. You get the ball, you get him to give up the ball, and who does he give it to? Ioze with space.
And for all of Pasher's skill in terms of scoring this season with 10 goals, he has still been a great distributor. When he gets that ball to the byline and can play it back, good things have happened for the Indy 11. Think of the game winner for Aliou Jahate against Atlanta United 2. That came from a Pasher ball in a similar scenario back in June.
As you were talking about Illich's header, the game winner, that was off of a Pasher ball too, wasn't it? Or was that Gibson?
That was Gibson.
Here we go.
Opportunity here.
There you go.
Illich, the flick to Ioze.
A great job by Harriel. He just kept backing up, keeping both the ball and Pasher in his line of sight.
Indy continues to switch sides of the attack. They'll make you guard all 74 yards of this pitch. Pasher, again, to that spot. Couldn't play it across, but does earn a corner. That was well defended by Ben Ofemu for the steal. Fan Soccer Saturday can be heard every Saturday morning on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Today we were joined by Indy 11 head coach Martin Rowney, John Arlia from USLChampionship.com, and former Indy 11 goalkeeping coach, now the Marion women's coach, in Gary Yohe. His team 7-0 to start the season. You can listen on demand anytime at 107.5thefan.com. Ioze sends it in. Illich, no. Barrett. King doesn't chase after that one. But that one a little more defensively. Connor able to intercept it in midfield. Ball played in. Flick by Novoa. Chest, not a handball. Referee immediately signaled off his chest, not an extended arm.
It's great officiating. As soon as it happened, he goes right to his chest.
Yep.
Lets everybody know who's going to complain. Hey, I got it. I saw it. I called it.
Kevin Broadley, our match referee tonight. To sports this match presented by Honda Manufacturing of Indiana, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. And Ouimet will tap that ball back to his keeper. Takeaway here by Bethlehem. Counter opportunity. Galena gets around Hackshaw. Galena plays it across. Deflected. Not out of danger yet. Newton closes the door.
Carl Ouimet. What a play. Weak side defender coming in to help when it broke down. Clever play by Galena.
So corner. The result of that for Indy could have been a whole lot worse than a corner.
And there, you know, we talk about that counterattack and that buildup. There, the final pass was there. Galena was effective in it.
Cortez sends it in. Ofemu got ahead to it. Is there going to be a penalty out of this? Or is it a foul the other direction? Yeah, it's a foul the other direction. Ouimet the player that is down on the turf for Indy. Shintu, the player that is getting a talking to for the Bethlehem Steel. And a yellow card being shown to Yomi Samuele Shintu. Forward out of Germany. 22 years of age.
He's a veteran on this team.
Every time in a restart you hear a whistle like that, you start to get nervous that it might be a penalty. It was a card the other direction. Great job by our camera crew to catch the knock that Ouimet took. Now, the one thing that is of interest in looking at the 18, we're really talking about the guys on the bench in the opening 45 minutes, but Mitch Osmond is not in the 18 tonight. And he has been the guy that has spelled Barrett or Hackshaw or Ouimet when needed. So Nico Perea, who we saw as a midfielder when he played for the Indy 11 against Charleston a week ago, he is listed as the only defender on the guys on the bench. However, Macaulay King can drop back and play that role, or you can bring Matt Watson in.
That's the move right there. Matt Watson is the great eraser. You can play him anywhere you need him.
11 positions, broadcast analyst, popcorn salesman.
Hey, he could do it.
And literally on cue, Matt Watson is told, hey, start warming up. You could also drop Iose back if you felt the need to do that.
Right. And, you know, actually, Pasher was signed as a defender. That's where he started last year, and then his pace and his creativity, he just started sliding him up. We saw him move to the midfield. It became effective. You started sliding him up higher.
And if you are putting gauze in the nose, you are officially reaching fight doctor territory as Ouimet is being treated on the pitch.
You know, when you looked at that replay, it was a shin guard he took right to the face.
Yep.
And those are bulletproof. A lot of those are made out of Kevlar.
This is the good news, and it shows you how much traffic there's been for the Indy 11 the last couple of weeks. They have a 6-day gap after this game. That would be the longest stretch of time they have had in between games since mid-August. That's good news after tonight. We'll see if Ouimet passes concussion protocol test and things of that nature.
Yeah, I think for Carl Ouimet, you have to pull him out. I don't think he's ever.
But I also think he just kind of, if it's the nose and not further up, then hopefully not the concussion side of things. And apparently he has passed said check. They've given him a fresh jersey because of blood on it. So he will re-enter momentarily. So Indy 11 playing a man down briefly with that steal trying to force the issue. Little space here. Quickly swept away by Indy. Illich plays it back to midfield. Ouimet has now been waved back on. King with a little toe poke. And Pasher. Novoa. I'm going to say, yeah, that's not a legal play in soccer.
No.
It is Indiana. That's a phenomenal screen he just set. If you're running the pick and roll, that's Stockton to Malone. That's fantastic. But you can't do that in soccer.
And I tell you what, it freed Pasher up.
Yep.
So you got to call it.
That's probably even an offensive foul in hoops. You can't lead with the shoulder like that.
One way to eliminate a double team.
Cortez, the player that got sent flying. Fans Wednesday night on ESPN3. It's more electrifying Wednesday night soccer. One of the league's top defenses and hottest clubs, St. Louis FC. They've won 4 in a row as they take on first place New York Red Bulls 2. Wednesday night soccer, 8 o'clock on ESPN3. That is from Worldwide Technology Park in St. Louis. As all of a sudden, Indy 11 will turn into St. Louis FC fans on Wednesday night. After last night's game, Red Bulls 2 has just one more home match left this year. Although they have been virtually identical in their form, home and road, so far this season.
Right. 4 goals at home, 4 goals on the road.
Turner commits the foul for Bethlehem. Hackshaw with the run going. Cuts it back for Pasher. Pasher right foot. Usually prefers that left side. Did have a right-footed goal against Bethlehem when they played back in April.
Yeah, it's not like he's ineffective with it.
Couldn't keep that on frame. This portion's match presented by Keystone Construction. It's more than construction. We build a vision. Everybody kind of held up thinking there's going to be a high boot called on that one. Official says no. Quickly, Evan Newton pounces on it. Turner to Shintu.
Good build.
Rayan plays it through, but put it at the back heel of Turner and not the front of the boot.
What a great ball, though.
That might have been 1-0. Novoa is the forward target. Now Connor with some space to operate. Been impressed by the defensive effort for Bethlehem so far.
Yeah, because the 11 have not made it easy. I mean, you're going touchline to touchline.
There goes Pasher, plays it across. And that ball given away on the attempted clearance. Zach Zandy, the player that sent that ball sideways for the steal. Gibson in somewhat unfamiliar territory that far forward.
You know, the thing with him, it's irrelevant. He doesn't lose the ball.
Novoa.
Oh,
for
what
Pasher,
a ball.
left foot, doesn't get through. And then Connor commits the foul.
That's an easy call.
Well, the skill of Novoa has been on display so far tonight.
Well, you know, Christian Novoa, you take a look at plays like this, a lot of forwards look to try and get a flick on goal. He sees a better option, a wide open player at the top of the box. Great decision, great execution.
Great job by Ofemu for the steal to get a leg in the way as Pasher was going near post. Again, I referenced being impressed by Bethlehem's defensive effort, knowing Indy scored 3 on them last time. And as mentioned, they have allowed 3 or more goals 11 times this season, including the last time out in a 3-3 draw against North Carolina.
And it hasn't been easy. I mean, they've done a good job against Indy 11, who's firing pretty well right now. So I'm very impressed with the youth of Bethlehem being able to put to accept stuff like that. This drives me crazy.
But there's the one thing that they have done is just the immediate, okay, giveaway will.
Yep.
Is that a young player making the mistake, or is that something almost maybe you think it's taught from an organizational standpoint?
I can't see it being taught because, you know, if you're going to give up a possession here at the top of the box or 20 yards further down the field, you know, I don't know any coaching philosophy that says put it in the attacking third for the other team as opposed to the middle third.
Kincaid, the player that played that ball to the side that time, and Connor picks up his second foul in almost as many minutes. Galena. The step over. Barrett.
Well played.
The sliding block. And then Iose carves out some space. Couldn't find King.
Galena's been impressive. And I think he's a good target, but he's also a guy that you can play into space.
Remember, in studying for the match, the first time these two teams played last year, he scored an absolute beauty of a goal about 3 days before they played the Indy 11 and got your attention. And he was signed to a USL contract by the Union for the Steel early May last year. When that, after 1 year, that contract was then shifted to a Philadelphia Union contract this May. Illich won't be able to get there in time. Cortez finds the ball first. Good pressure applied by King. But still the Steel remain in possession. And if you see the players with the lower numbers tonight for the Steel, that means they're on a Philadelphia Union deal. So the keeper in Freeze is wearing number 1. Galena's wearing number 20. The guys in the 30s, 40s, 50 range, that probably means they're on a Steel contract, a USL contract. The guy 60 or below normally would then be on an academy deal. I think Nathan Harriel's wearing 63 tonight. Thank you for touching the ball on cue as we're having that discussion.
I like systems like that I can understand. I do. Just, it's clear, it makes sense.
In the Steel last year, won a round of the playoffs. They beat the Pittsburgh Riverhounds at Highmark Stadium. 2-2 at the end of 120 minutes. They won on penalties 8-7. They then lost at Louisville City in the second round 2-0. Frankly, of the 3 playoff matches that Lou City played against Eastern Conference foes, that was the one that was close.
Yeah, I think Indy's would have been a lot closer if the weather wasn't such an issue. I think there was swirling winds and rain, and it just changes the game. And then in a playoff game, once you go down a goal or two, you know,
Iose.
It kind of becomes irrelevant as far. I mean, a loss is a loss at that point. You might as well try and push some players up or do some different things to try and get back in it. So sometimes those scores become a little bit odd if you watch the game or you look at the teams, because it doesn't match what they're capable of doing.
Iose, a couple of brilliant goals on Wednesday night, going for another one there. This Sports the Match brought to us by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Take your business to the next level in a state that works. Ray and the target. Hackshaw with him step for step. Good read. Well, that's a Famu that made that read for Bethlehem. The tackle away by Illich. Navoa just too strong with that first touch, trying to make the turn. Do you worry about the legs at some point for the Indy 11, knowing this is their 3rd match in 7 days?
Depends. I think when you look at it, you have to evaluate the game, and you have to see, is this a game that's back and forth? If it is, then you worry a little bit. If you're able to grab possession and you can kind of control the tempo and dictate where play is going, you become a little less concerned. So I think you have to kind of let the game settle in and figure out what flavor it's going to be, and then at that point you can start to say, we can let the guys go, or we might need to pull some guys back a bit.
Saw a lot of squad rotation from Sunday to Wednesday, but again, this is the same 11 that we saw Wednesday night against Ottawa, and rightfully so, given how they played.
Yeah, and even though they played well on Sunday, it was a loss, and so sometimes just simply a lineup change is enough to shake things up. And and get everybody back on point.
I thought it was interesting that Brendan Burke, we'll finish that thought in a moment. Pasher can't collect that one. But the head coach of the Steel, when asked about Indy's performance against Charleston, in their own notes said that should have been a multiple goal Indy victory. Yeah. It was a 1-0 loss in Charleston.
Yeah, and you look, if you watch it, incredible save by the Charleston keeper on Dane Kelly, and then Dane pushed to just wide. So the opportunities were there, the buildup was there, the possession was there, everything but the final execution.
Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time of this half, presented by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11.
There you go. Oh.
Pasher towards the center of the park. Forward to Macaulay King. King gets around his man. Plays it across.
Great ball.
And that'll be a corner.
Macca King using the speed there.
Does have 2 assists this season, does Macca. And the last one being some 10 days ago on that game winner by Dane Kelly against Red Bulls 2.
Dangerous situation. You got 2 really creative players on the corner kick, and you only send one guy out to defend.
Pasher, short corner action, but didn't get the shot on target he was open for.
That's youth. That's youth right there. You've got 2 of the most technical, creative players on the team in the corner. If you only send one guy, they're going to play short.
Freeze in his 5 matches for the Steel this year does have 2 victories. And 4 different keepers have seen time for the Steel this season. Off the head of Hackshaw. Freeze, his goals against average 1.6. Connor fouled. Restarted quick one by Indy. Long ball for Navoa. Navoa found a way to get to it. Ofemu has been impressive.
It was very well defended, because Navoa, if he gets on the other end of it, he's behind and he's in. It's a great ball by King.
Ofemu is 6'4" and 200 pounds. He doesn't look like he's going to turn 19 at the end of this month, does he?
No.
He's got that size.
Yeah.
He's 18. Again, I'll repeat my earlier statement. There is all kind of young talent in this Union organization.
No kidding.
If he were playing in some youth tournaments, that'd be official. Hey, check the birth certificate territory.
That's not right. Great double. Great double. Take a look at that effort by Zandy to get back, recognizing that it's Pasher alone with the defender and coming back to provide an opportunity for a double team. That sets up this opportunity here.
Well defended by Indy. Gibson able to walk the tightrope and keep that ball in play. In the long diagonal ball yet again. Good read by Harriel. Really slow the pace of Ioza.
I love this. I love the way that they're playing. And I love the way that Bethlehem's playing. They're keeping them contained, even though the ball's moving all over the place. It's a good game to watch.
Navoa the target. Steered clear by Kinge. Now Cortez with a good run going. Macca King does a great job of getting in the way.
He really did. If he would have stayed back to try and defend the space behind him, that ball is in for Galena. Instead, he steps up, gets a piece of it, slows things down, allows the 11 to get their shape back. Great thought by Cortez and Galena.
We will have some stoppage time. Kind of the only really pause we had was we met being checked for an injury. And with that, 3 minutes of added time will be shown momentarily. Galena going to pressure Newton, and Newton handles it with his typical ease. I think if you're Brendan Burke, you got to be very happy how your team has played in this half.
Yeah, and you can tell. You look at how he was coaching in that first 15-20 minutes. He was up. He was very vocal. He was instructing. He was pulling the strings on the guys. And now he's settled in a little bit because the guys have settled in.
But I'm not sure you're overly disappointed in how your team's playing if you're Martin Running.
No, this is a great game.
Giveaway there by Bethlehem. Now Connor couldn't clear the traffic in midfield. Player down right now for Bethlehem. Indy 11 playing on, but then inadvertently played the ball to the side, and now that is Kingay, the player that is injured. Dealing with a cramp.
Yeah, but it's that time of year. You got one wrist taped up, you got the other hand and finger taped up. It's that time of year where everybody's got something.
This is his 11th appearance of the season.
That's what we ought to do. Around this time of year, we should start investing in tape.
Kingay, the native of Cameroon. He, 19 years of age.
Unreal.
If you're Martin Running, anything that from a tactic standpoint you change in half number 2?
I love the way that they're knocking it around the park. I think you've been very, very effective when you have Ioze and Pasher overlapping each other on that side. You've had some great opportunities where they've been able to turn the corner, or they've been able to move the ball across the top of the box for some opportunities.
Bethlehem brought 5 players tonight. As far as bench are concerned, you can dress 18. They dress 16 this evening. 4 field players and, of course, a backup keeper. Union are in action tonight, and they were second in the Eastern Conference heading into this weekend's action. It's been a really good season for Jim Curtin in Philadelphia. And, of course, there is an Indianapolis tie on that Union team. One of their longest tenured players in Ray Gaddis is an Indianapolis native. Played his youth soccer at Tabernacle Presbyterian growing up, and then played at North Central High School before going on to West Virginia.
So you record also middle schools and grade schools when you're doing?
Ray Gaddis has been a frequent guest of Soccer Saturday on 93.5 and 107.5.
Rick, I've talked to you for 6 years, and I can barely remember where you went to high school.
Maybe I turned pro early. Maybe I didn't go to high school. Maybe I'm the Doogie Howser of broadcasting.
With pipes like that, you could probably have gone pro much earlier than you did.
We've had some added time on the added time. A whistle you'd think will be coming shortly. Not yet. And Galena will play this out, which forces Barrett to...
See, that's the difference right there. That's the difference right there. Look at this. Instead of just knocking this ball out, he's calm, under light pressure, knocks it up to Met. They keep possession, get the ball up to Navoa.
Rand couldn't make the turn, throw incoming.
This is a long extra time.
Well, again, Kingay went down during added time, so 3 minutes has stretched now to 4.5 and might get to 5. Over Over 10,000 tickets sold for tonight's match here at Lucas Oil Stadium.
That is great.
Fantastic crowd. One of the final Saturday night matches here of the season. Now Illich. Novoa gives chase. Still not a look at the wristwatch just yet. No need for one. A very evenly played and well played first half ends with zeros on the board for both sides.
Yeah, I thought the attacking opportunities fell more in favor of the 11, but the Steel navigated them. But I think they were just dangerous enough to wake Indy up a bit.
Stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, we'll have a look around the USL Championship. We'll update you on the standings, the scoreboard,